I am Saint Germain, and I come to be with you at this time when you are about to experience a major influx of energy that is going to be coming in. Many of you are going to feel that energy. You are going to feel it just walking out in nature, and you'll feel that expression. You'll feel that lightness or that blissful feeling that will come over you, even if it is just for a moment, but it will heighten in your expression. It will heighten your consciousness and your vibrational frequency at that time. And then being able to hold that frequency for a little bit longer. And each time this happens, you'll be able to hold it a little bit longer, be able to anchor that light a little bit more. And that is what this is all about. That is what essentially the ascension process is all about. That you are able to experience this more and more and feel the energies. Not only know about the energies, but begin to actually feel them, to feel them within you. And it is not just certain people that will be able to do this, but more and more will be able to the point where all those that are ready for the ascension will feel these energies more and more, feel that blissfulness come over them. And that will be something you will want to hold on to, just as you have had in various times in your life when you have had that blissful feeling come over you and you wanted to hold on to it, but at last you are not able to hold on to it for very long because you are not ready to hold those vibrations, that higher vibration within you. But you are more and more now able to hold that vibration. And when you can hold that higher vibration, then those that have that higher vibration will be attracted to you. That is how this works. That is how the attraction process works. You raise your vibrational frequency and attract higher beings that have that vibrational frequency as well. And yes, I am speaking of those of the galactics, those of the Agarthans, those that have that higher vibrational frequency, which will be attracted to you and you to them more and more and more. That is because of the energies that are coming into the planet and will continue to come in. And you will find that you will be able, again, to hold those energies more and more and experience them. Will everybody across the planet know this and feel this? No, they will not, because many are not ready for this yet. They have not raised their vibrational frequency enough yet to be able to hold that energy. But they will experience it, but it will be in more negative fashion for many of them because their central nervous system is not ready for this. But you, those that have been acclimating to these energies, are becoming ready for this more and more and to hold these energies. And that is my message that I came to bring with you today. It goes along with everything that is happening in your third dimensional expression as well, in the matrix, if you will. So much is changing, so much is in process of changing, more and more and more. And you will find that these changes will begin to bring more and more people on board, you might say. More and more people will begin to awaken. That is the Great Awakening. That is what is leading to the first wave of ascension. And yes, there are those that are in that second wave, as you were in your discussion earlier, that are in the process also of moving into that first wave, because they are beginning to awaken, and more shall awaken, because as the Republic of this United States or America comes back into being, into what it was originally intended to be, then it will grow beyond the borders of this United States for America, and grow out into boundaries beyond this, even across the oceans, to encompass the entire planet. That is what this entire ascension process is all about, to bring the world together in unity consciousness. And you have those that are in place right now to begin this process of the new republic spreading everywhere. Be of good cheer, my friends, my brothers and sisters, because everything that has been happening up to this point is all happening because of you, the light workers, the light warriors that have been the catalyst for bringing this all about and bringing those ones forward to lead the charge. You might say, I am Saint Germain, and I leave you now in peace and love and oneness, and that you continue to embrace these energies, and I use that term purposely, embrace these energies as they come in more and more. There's a certain group of learning activities that I like to classify as mental training because we're retraining the brain. It's got a lot in common with physical training, learning a sport or a martial art, for example, but it's all about the mind. Some common types of mental training: learning a language, studying an academic subject deeply, learning chess or Go or poker or bridge, getting good at focusing on work despite inner resistance, studying history or geography for fun, memorizing a bunch of facts like trivia, learn to become a writer or other kind of creator. I've put myself through fairly intensive mental training in most of these areas. I studied chess and Go, attempted to learn a few languages, learned to focus despite my inner resistance, became a writer, and here's what I've been finding are most important to getting good at this kind of training, which isn't easy. 1. Let yourself be a beginner and suck at it. When I start some kind of mental training, say I'm trying to get decent at chess or writing, I always hope that I'll get good at it really quickly. This is misguided because as a beginner, I won't get even halfway decent for a long time. In fact, I'll suck at it for a while. That's expected. If you hope to be good in a short time, you're going to be disappointed and discouraged. So encourage yourself to embrace this beginner stage. You won't be good for a while, so let yourself enjoy the learning itself, as opposed to needing to perform well to enjoy yourself. 2. Immerse yourself. Sometimes people have hopes that they'll learn something in just a few minutes a day, or maybe a good long weekend of hard work. Neither of these work very well. What works is immersion on a daily basis. Imagine if you wanted to learn Italian and looked at vocabulary flashcards for 5 minutes a day, or alternatively, you could instantly travel to Italy for an hour every day. In the second scenario, you'd be surrounded by people speaking Italian, you'd be immersed in it, and you'd be much more motivated to learn. This works not just with languages, but with anything. If you surround yourself with good chess players and lots of games and puzzles, you'll learn much more than if you just browsed a book for a few minutes a day. Same with chemistry, writing, or high-performance focus work. You don't need to be immersed all day long, but you do need to immerse yourself regularly. I'd say 30 minutes or more on a mostly daily basis is the minimum for strong progress. 3. Be consistent with your training. The mistake I've repeatedly made over the years when I've taken on a learning project is that I give up when I get derailed or discouraged. It's hard to get myself back into it. When I give up, it means I don't get very far. When I stick with something for a long time, I can really impress myself. So a big part of the consistency I found important is not giving up even when you get discouraged. But another part of this consistency is doing it on a near daily basis. It's much better to study or practice most days of the week, say 5 to 7 days, than it is to do it once a week or a few times a month. Small, consistent efforts pay off with mental training. It's like compound interest. It compounds over time. Or let it be play. If you're grinding out your mental training and it's just hard, you'll drain yourself. It becomes a should instead of something you want to do. But the problem is, you need to do hard work. The solution for me is to bring a sense of play to the training. If you're trying to get better at a sport like basketball, soccer, or pickleball, the hard training can be a ton of fun because the whole thing is playing games. So make language learning or studying an academic subject or learning chess or writing become that kind of play. It can all be a game. For example, can you make it a game to see how many language flashcards you get right every day and try to beat or match your best score? Can you find a learning partner and bring a sense of play and humor to your sessions with them? It can be a challenge to find ways to bring play to your mental training, but I think it makes a huge difference. 5. Get over the fear of embarrassment. One of the biggest obstacles to learning is that we don't want to look or feel stupid. We don't want to make embarrassing mistakes. But of course, at the beginner stage and even in later stages, we'll make plenty of mistakes. The problem is not that we're going to make mistakes. It's that we're afraid of making them. Making mistakes is a crucial part of the learning process, but we let the fear of embarrassment stop us. The key then is to let yourself make mistakes and even let yourself be embarrassed. It's okay to be embarrassed. We're human. We make mistakes and fall on our faces. A key part of this kind of training is learning to brush yourself off and learn from the mistakes. Encourage yourself when you feel embarrassed. Be proud of falling on your face. With practice, we can get over this fear, and falling becomes an integral part of our process. 6. Don't be afraid to do hard work. I said to turn the training into play, but that doesn't mean we should think that everything should be easy. We want to be able to focus and put in the hard work because that's where the biggest gains will be found. If you're lifting weights and you only do easy lifts, you'll still get stronger. But if you do sets of hard lifts where you don't have any more to give, you'll get stronger much faster. The same is true if you are practicing for a sport. The athletes that give it their best will get better much faster. And the same is true of mental training. If you're being lazy about it, you won't progress very quickly. But if you're willing to do some hard work, you'll see impressive progress. 7. Use your stumbling blocks as learning tools. You're going to make mistakes, and those are your best lessons for growth. What holes in your knowledge or skills do these mistakes show you? What can you learn from them? You'll also find other stumbling blocks, fear of embarrassment, discouragement, frustration, and more. That's a part of the process. Mental training includes learning to deal with these so that you don't give up. How can you train yourself to be better at each of these stumbling blocks? By just practicing. Let them be lessons in themselves. By using every stumbling block as a place to practice, you'll grow with leaps and bounds. Mental training isn't easy, but it's incredibly rewarding if you let yourself trust in the process and really pour yourself into it. Immerse yourself. Play in the midst of the hard work. and enjoy the process. With love,